Hello students, today we will talk about the RH incompatibility and a special case of RH incompatibility that is called as erythroblastosis fetalis. RH name, it comes after the rhesus monkey in which it is present. It is also present on the surface of RBCs of human beings. RH antigen, it is present on the RBC's surface of human beings, and the individual who are having the RH antigen, they are called as RH positive. The individuals who are not having the RH antigen, they are called as RH negative, and 80% of the individuals, they are RH positive. If the RH, if the blood of the RH negative individual, it is exposed to the blood of the RH positive individual, then what happened in the body of the RH negative individual? The antibodies, they are prepared. Antibodies against the RH antigen. And this is the reason before the transfusion of the blood, the matching, it is necessary, because the Rh negative person will form specific antibodies against the Rh antigens. So Rh group should also be matched before transfusion. Now, erythroblastosis fetalis, it is a condition in which the mother is Rh negative and the father is Rh positive. If the mother is Rh negative and the father is Rh positive, so in case of first pregnancy, let us assume the fetus, it is Rh positive. But in first pregnancy, as there is a clear-cut separation of blood through the placenta, in all the pregnancy it is there, but here the separation, it is there for the blood, and that is why no harm to the child. Reason behind that, there is no mixing of the blood. Why? Because blood, it is separated through the placenta. Now, this is the case of first pregnancy where we have assumed that the fetus, it is Rh positive, and the fetus, it is developed into the child which is easily delivered, no problem in that. After that, in second pregnancy, you know, during the birth of the first child, there is a chances, because we have discussed for the first pregnancy, during the delivery of this child, there is the chances for the mixing out of the blood, right? And here, some of the blood, it will mix, it will surely mix with the blood of the mother. And as the blood entered, whose blood? Fetus blood entered in mother, which you can consider as mixing some of the blood. So here, after the mixing, what happened? The mother's body started preparing antibodies against Rh antigen, right? And after that, in case of second pregnancy, what happened? This happens after the delivery of the child, first child. Now the mother is having the antibodies against the Rh antigen because of the exposure of mother's blood to the fetus. Now, in case of second pregnancy, the antibodies which are already there in the mother, they get leaked into the blood of fetus, and RBCs of the fetus, they get destroyed. So you can easily see here that the antibodies against Rh antigen, they are leaked into the blood of fetus. And what happened here? The RBCs, they get destroyed. And what will be the impact? This causes anemia. And here the severe anemia and the jaundice is the condition. So this is what the effect of the Rh incompatibility, and these issues they are raised, and this is known as erythroblastosis fetalis. To avoid that, what happened? This condition is called as erythroblastosis fetalis, and this can be avoided by administering anti-Rh antibodies to the mother immediately after the delivery of the first child. So I have given you a gist of Rh incompatibility through a special case that is called as erythroblastosis fetalis. Let us see in detail what happened in Rh incompatibility. What we have discussed here, that we will see in detail through the points and diagrams. It is a potentially life-threatening blood disorder in a newborn infant that develops when the mother and baby have different Rh blood types that you have seen. The mother is Rh negative and the baby is Rh positive. Here the Rh factor, it is there. Rh factor is an inherited protein found on the surface of RBCs, red blood cells. Not everyone has this protein, that we know. And if a person has the protein, they are called as Rh positive, right? This antigen, the individuals who are having this antigen, they are called as Rh positive. Those who don't have the antigen, they are called as Rh negative. It is a protein actually. If a woman is Rh negative and the fetus is Rh positive, it can lead to Rh incompatibility and potential complications in the pregnancy. And here you can see through the diagram as well. Next, here erythroblastosis fetalis can occur when different Rh factor blood types mix during the pregnancy. Problem can arise even if small amounts of Rh positive and Rh negative blood mix. Although it is rare for blood between the woman and the fetus to mix during a pregnancy, it could happen as a result of the placenta detaching from the wall of the uterus wall during delivery. And some of the other points are bleeding during the pregnancy, manual rotation of a breech baby, abortion, an ectopic pregnancy, a miscarriage, a fall, blunt trauma, or invasive prenatal testing, prenatal tests such as amniocentesis or chronic villus sampling. So anyhow, the mixing of the blood it occurs, and these are the reasons, you know, where the chances of the mixing of the blood it is there. If Rh negative blood mixes with Rh positive blood, an immune response known as Rh sensitization may occur. This means that the person with Rh negative blood will produce antibodies to fight any future exposure to Rh positive blood. That we have discussed in the previous slide, like in the very first slide, that what happened? The antibodies they are prepared in the individual, right? After the mixing of the blood, are the individual who is having the Rh negative condition, it's it started the production of the antibodies because of the exposure to the Rh positive blood, and that is what it is written here. The body can also produce antibodies after contamination with a Rh positive blood from a needle or a blood transfusion. Once sensitized, the body's immune system will recognize any future Rh positive cell as foreign and attack them. And if Rh positive blood from a fetus gets into the bloodstream of a woman with sensitized Rh negative blood, the woman's immune system will attack the invading cell and destroy them. Here, erythroblastosis fetalis destroy red blood cells. Destruction of the red blood cells can be rapid in a fetus. As a result, the fetus will not receive enough oxygen, which may lead to anemia. Other illness or jaundice you can name as even the death of the child fetus. As hemolysis continues, the fetal will rapidly attempt to produce more red blood cells. However, these cells, new red blood cells, are often immature and are unable to function fully. So, the signs and symptoms of erythroblastosis fetalis, you can see the effect here, right? You know, the anemia, other than the jaundice, which we have listed previously as well. These are the effects on the fetus. Because the body produces red blood cells in the liver and spleen, this overproduction can sometimes cause these organs to enlarge. When a newborn has this condition, it is known as hemolytic disease of the newborn. As the immature red blood cells continue to break down, bilirubin, which is a byproduct of the breakdown of RBCs, builds up. It started accumulating, and the excess amount of bilirubin circulating in the newborn's body will lead to jaundice, where the skin and eye whites of the infant turn yellow. So actually, the RBCs they are destructed, that resulted in the anemia, right? And what is there for the jaundice? Because of the increased amount of the bilirubin, because the immature red blood cells continue to break down, and this bilirubin, it is a byproduct of the breakdown of the red blood cells, and it started accumulating, and the excess amount of bilirubin it is gets circulating in the newborn's body will lead to jaundice, where the skin and eye whites of the infant turn yellow, right? So here the condition arises due to these reasons. And here this is the summary, where the mother, she is Rh negative, and here the fetus, it is Rh positive because the father is Rh positive. Here the separation is there, placental separation in the first pregnancy, so no problem in that. But in case of subsequent pregnancy, actually during the delivery of the first child, the blood mixes when during the delivery of the first child, and that resulted in the maternal sensitization to Rh positive blood, right? So after that, next pregnancy, if it will have the Rh positive fetus, maternal anti-Rh antibodies enter the fetal circulation, and anti-Rh antibody to fetal Rh positive red blood cells. Like the red blood cells, they get destructed, and that resulted in the anemia. Hemolysis of the fetal RBCs, it occurs. So this is what the summary, right? And here I have uploaded a diagrammatic representation for you. You can see during pregnancy, Rh negative mother with Rh positive baby. Here the Rh positive baby's blood cell enter the mother's bloodstream. Invading Rh positive blood cells cause the production of Rh antibodies. This occurs where? At the delivery of the first child. So here you can see the sensitization occurs by the mixing of the blood, and after that Rh antibodies remain in mother's bloodstream, because here the sensitization occurs and the Rh antibodies, they are prepared in the body of the mother, and the antibodies, they remain in mother's bloodstream. And in case of further pregnancies, right, the Rh antibodies, they attack the baby's blood cells and causing the harm to it, like the anemia and the jaundice, it occurs to the baby. In case of, if the baby is Rh positive, if the baby is Rh positive, so that is what the erythroblastosis fetalis, and the effect is seen on the child, and the child is suffering from the fetus, it is suffering from the anemia and the jaundice. So that is what the RH incompatibility. Your questions are always welcome. You can have the doubt clearing sessions with me, and we'll have more interesting videos and quizzes further. For now, bye. Have a very great day.